we'll start off with some opening prayers first, and then we'll move into a bhajan second. That way you guys won't have to stand here for the entire time. So with that being said, devotees, Namaste and Jai Sita Ram. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to our Sunday morning service this beautiful this tepid August 21st, 2022. It's a little rainy over here in Georgia, so that's why I say tepid. As we commence with our service for today, devotees, I ask that we join together as we go ahead and clasp our hands and close our eyes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax your spine, drop your shoulders, relax your neck, your forehead, relax your entire body. Clear your mind of all thoughts, with the exception of a form of Bhagwan that's most pleasing to you, one that helps you focus, one that helps you concentrate, one that helps you maintain devotion, and join together with me as we chant these opening prayers. Om Om Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnata Purnamarachati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyati Ishavasyam Midam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktina Bhunjetha Mangrudhakasya Svidhanam Om Sahana Avadhu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. We offer prayers to Prithvi Mata as we bless and sanctify the seat onto which we sit. Om Samudravasane Devi Parvatastane Mandite Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam Parasparasham Kshamaswame Om Prithvi Tvaya Dratha Loka Devi Tvam Vishnu Nadratha Tvam Chadharya Mam Devi Pavitram Kuruchasanam Om Shri Prithvi Devaya Namaham. We'll take some water in our right hands first, and we'll go ahead and wash our hands. Move this out of the way. Oopsies. Om Hasta Prakshalanam Samarpayami Govindaya Namaham. Mom, can we get the paper towels, please? Sip water 3 times to purify the body. Om Amrito Pastaranamasi Swaha. Thank you. Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha. Om Satyam Yashaha Shri Mai Shri Shrayatam Swaha. You're gonna wash your hands again. Om Apavitra Pavitrava Sarvavashtam Gato Pivam Yahasmerit Pundari Kaksham Sabhayabyam Tada Shuchi. Om Om Chandanasya Mahatpunyam Pavitram Papanashanam Aparam Harite Nityam Lakshmi Stishtate Sarvada. Another stretch. There we go. We take some water in our left hand now as we commence with Angsparish, as we bless the various parts of our body. Good job. Just follow. Chandan on my finger. We're going to touch our lips first. Om Wang Yes. We ask the Lord, by thy grace, may my tongue be blessed with the power of speech. We touch your nose. Om Nasur Me Pran. We ask the Lord, may my nostrils be blessed with healthy, vital air. Touch your eyes. Om Akshorame Chakshurastu. Ask, O Lord, may my eyes be blessed with the perfect power of vision. Your ears next. Om Kanyorme Shrotamastu. We ask, O Lord, may my ears be blessed with the power of hearing. Your arms. Om Bahordame Balamastu. We ask, O Lord, may my arms be blessed with strength. We touch our legs. Om Urhorme Ojavastu. We ask, O Lord, may my legs be blessed with vitality. We go over our entire body. Om Marishtani Miangani Tanustanawame Sahasandhu. And we'll take another flower in our hand as we join together devotees in chanting the most powerful Gayatri Mantra. Om Agakshe Varade Devi Akshari Brahmavadini Gayatri Jagate Mathar Vishwayoni Namostute Om Bhore Bhuva Swam Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Om Bhore Bhuva Swam Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Om Bhore Bhuva Swam Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Prem se bolo Gayatri Mata ki Jai. And we take a red flower in our hand next as we join together devotees in offering prayers and obediences to that remover, destroyer, and creator of all obstacles in our life. We join together as we offer prayers to Lord Ganesha. Om Shri Ganapati Namaham. Om Yajananam Bhutha Ganadhi Sevitam Kapita Jammu Palachara Bhakshanam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Viganeshwara Pada Pankajam Namami Viganeshwara Pada Pankajam. At this time I ask that we have one bhajan dedicated to Lord Ganesha as we commence with our puja of prayer.
Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha
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 Lambodhara Gananata
Lambodara Gananara
Lambodhara Gananata
Lambodara Ganadana
Lambodhara Gananata
Lambodara Gananata
Lambodhara Gananata
Lambodara Gananata
Lambodhara Gananata
Lambodara
devotees, may we all join together now as we offer our final pratana to Lord Ganesh. Om Makratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kurme Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Raksha Raksha Ganadhaksha Rakshatrelokya Rakshakar Bhaktanam Bhayam Karitha Trata Bhavam Bhavaranavar Om Shriman Mahaganadhipataye Namah Prem se bolo Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Go to take some white flowers in your hands next. And the devotees join together now as we offer prayers to that mother of knowledge, learning that mother of music, that mother of wisdom. We join together as we offer prayers to Saraswati Mata. Om Saraswati Mahabhagi Vidhikmalanuchine Vidyarupe Vishalakshi Vidyam Dehi Namostute Om Saraswati Namasubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Sadhira Bhavatu Me Sada Sadhira Bhavatu Me Sada Om Mahasaraswati Namaham. We're going to take this lighter and light the diya right here for that mother of light in this universe, that mother of monetary wealth, spiritual wealth, and all forms of wealth. We join together as we offer prayers to Lakshmi Mata. Om Lakshmi Karotu Kalyanam Arogyam Jana Sampadam Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute Om Namaste Astu Mamai Shri Pite Sarapujite Shankha Chakra Angara Haste Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Namaste Garudarudhi Ulasura Bhayankari Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Sarvagye Sarvavarade Sarvadushta Bhayankari Sarva Dukha Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Siddhi Buddhi Prane Devi Mukti Mukti Pradayani Mantra Murti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Adyantarehte Devi Adi Shakti Maheshwari Yoga Yoga Sambodhe Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Sthula Sukshma Maharodre Mahashakti Mahodare Mahapapa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Padmasana Sthite Devi Parabrahma Swarupini Parameshi Jagane Matar Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Shvetambaradhare Devi Nanalankari Bhushite Jagatastite Jagane Madhar Mahalakshmi Namostute Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Mahalakshmi Namaham. And next devotees we offer prayers to that universal mother, that destroyer of all evils in our life. We join together as we offer prayers to Adi Shakti Durga Mata. Om Durgaya Namaham. Mangalakali Bhandrathali Kapalini Durgakshama Shiva Dhatri Swaswadha Namostute Jaivam Devi Chamunde Jai Putharti Nihardini Jai Sarvagate Devi Paradatre Namostute Devi Sarvabhuteshu Vishnu Maiti Shamdita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Sansita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Sansita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sansita Namastasye Namastasye Namastasye
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु तुष्टिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दयारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. As we pray to Mother Durga devotees, so say, O Durga Mata, Thou art the universal mother, and we, your children, worship you in your many forms. O powers, Shiva's Bhuti, wisdom, Lakshmi, prosperity, Shakti, energy, Shraddha, faith, Shanti, peace, Tushti, contentment, Daya, compassion. And as we pray to you, O Ma, Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. As we pray to you, O Ma, we bow to thee again and again. Devotees, we offer prayers to Mother Durga in the form of the Universal Mother. Matri Rupe, Ya Devi Sarvam Bhuteshu, Matri Rupena Santita, Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah, Dehi Saubhagyam Arogyam, Dehi Me Paramam Sukham, Rupam Nehi Jayam Nehi, Yashodehi Nashochahi. At this time, devotees, I said we have one or two bhajans dedicated to the Universal Mother, so as we continue with our puja up front.
जय जय माता सरस्वती माता, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी, हंसवाहिनी परमासनमा, वीणा पुस्तकधारिणी माता, वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी माता, जय जय माता सरस्वती माता, जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी, हंसवाहिनी परमासनमा, वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी माता, वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी माता. तू ही दुर्गा पुस्तक धारिणी माता वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी माता वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी माता.
Water. Devotees who are watching on YouTube, we do apologize. We are aware of the audio issues. We are working to correct them. I'll need a longer period of time of me talking to know whether or not that's going to happen. Om Shitalam Nirmalam Toyam Karpurena Suasitam Achamitam Idam Devi Prasira Parabamyam. Om Mahasaraswati Mahalakshmi Mahajarkai Namo Namaham. Om Dupam Deepam Naivedyam Kandritu Flamachmanim Samarpayami. Om Prem se bolo Saraswati Mata ki jai. Prem se bolo Lakshmi Mata ki jai. Prem se bolo Adi Shakti Durga Mata ki jai. As a friendly piece of advice for anybody who's ever testing out audio, if your audio is not working and you just say, "Can you hear me now?" that's not a long enough sentence to know whether or not it's working or not. So you have to talk for at least a minute before you can recognize whether or not audio is good. I think we're okay now. It doesn't sound like it's breaking out anymore. Okay. Again, we apologize for that. I could hear it as we were praying, but it just couldn't do anything at the time. Excellent. Well, at this time, devotees, now that we're done with our prayers and obediences to the mothers, we move on to our prayers to the most influential beings in our life, those beings that dictate when we can perform certain things, when we can do different services, those beings that dictate our temperament and even the name that we're given. We join together as we offer prayers to the Navagraha Devata, also referred to in English as the 9 planets. Om Navagraha Devataya Namaham. Bharamha Murari Sripuranta Kari Bhanush Shivu Mesuto Buddhascha Guruscha Shukra Shanirahu Kitawa Sarvengraha Shanti Kara Bhavantu Sarvengraha Shanti Kara Bhavantu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah. Suryaya Namah. Chandramaya Namah. Suryaya Namah. Chandramaya Namah. Chandramaya Namah. Bhaumaya Namah. Chandramaya Namah. Bhaumaya Namah. Bhaumaya Namah. Buddhaya Namah. Bhaumaya Namah. Buddhaya Namah. Buddhaya Namah. Brihaspataya Namah. Buddhaya Namah. Brihaspataya Namah. Brihaspataya Namah. Shukraya Namah. Brihaspataya Namah. Shukraya Namah. Shukraya Namah. Shanisharaya Namah. Shukraya Namah. Shanisharaya Namah. Shanisharaya Namah. Rahave Namah. Shanisharaya Namah. Rahave
Om Suryaya Namaha 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 Adideva Namastubhyam Prasiddham Mama Bhashkaram Divakar Namastubhyam Prabhakar Namostute Suryaya Namaha Suryaya Namaha Suryaya Namaha Suryaya Namaha Om Prem Sabaro Navgraha Devata Ki Jai Prem Sabaro Surya Narayan Bhagavan Ki Jai. At this time, devotees, we join together now as we offer prayers to that sustainer of all things dharmic, all things righteous in this universe. We join together as we offer prayers to Lord Vishnu. Om Shantakaram Ujaghayaram Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrasham Megavaranam Shubhangam Om Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayaram Yogi Bhiradhyanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharam Sarvaloke Kanatam Om Sashanka Chakram Sakirita Kundhalam Sapita Vastram Sarasirudhekshanam Sahara Vakshastala Shumikostu Bhashriyam Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturbhujam Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturbhujam. We join together now, devotees, as we offer prayers to the seventh incarnation of Lord Vishnu. We offer prayers to Lord Rama. Om Ramaya Ramabhandraya Ramachandraya Vidhise Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaham. We offer prayers to Mother Sita next. Om Jagathasutha Jagajanani Janiki Atashaya Priya Karunani Dhaniki Taki Jugapada Kamal Manao Jasukrapa Niramal Matipao. We offer prayers to Hanuman Swami. Om Manojavamaruta Tunyavegam Jitendriyam Buddhi Matam Varishtam Vatatmajaman Rayothamukyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapati Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapati. And finally, devotees, we join together as we offer prayers for the eighth incarnation of Lord Vishnu. We join together as we offer prayers to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Om Dhararavinde Naparavindham Mukharavinde Vinibhishrayantam Vatasya Patrasya Putishrayanam Balam Mukundam Manasasmana Balam Mukundam Manasasmana. Om Krishna Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Mukham Karoti Vachalam Bhanghum Langayati Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Om Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Maradanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. At this time, devotees, I ask that we have one or two bhajans dedicated to Lord Vishnu, Lord Rama, Mother Sita, Hanuman Swami, or Bhagavan Shri Krishna as we commence with our puja up front.
आज मैं ए नाथ आज मैं काहन पावा मिटे दोष दुख दारिद दावा मिटे दोष दुख दारिद दावा। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब बार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब बार तुम्हारे हाथों में। हे जीत तुम्हारे हाथों में, हे जीत तुम्हारे हाथों में, और हार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का मेरे निश्चय है बस एक यही, एक बार तुम्हें पा जाऊं मैं। मेरा निश्चय है बस एक यही, एक बार तुम्हें पा जाऊं मैं। अर्पण कर दो दुनिया भर कर, अर्पण कर दो दुनिया भर कर, सब प्यार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया जीवन का सब भार तुम्हारे हाथों में।
सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब भार तुम्हारे हाथों में।
मैं जग में रहूं तो ऐसे रहूं जो जल में कमल का फूल रहे। मैं जग में रहूं तो ऐसे रहूं जो जल में कमल का फूल रहे। मेरे सब गुण दोष समर्पित हो, मेरे सब गुण दोष समर्पित हो। गिरधार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब बार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब बार तुम्हारे हाथों में। जब जब संसार के कैसे बनूं निष्काम भाव से काम करूं। जब जब संसार के कैसे बनूं निष्काम भाव से काम करूं। फिर अंत समय मैं प्राण त्यजूं, फिर अंत समय मैं प्राण त्यजूं। निरकार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब भार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया जीवन का सब भार तुम्हारे हाथों मुझ में तुझ में बस ये यही न रहूं तुम नारायण हूँ। मुझ में तुझ में बस वेद यही मैं न रहूं तुम नारायण हूँ। मैं हूँ संसार के हाथों में, मैं हूँ संसार के हाथों में, संसार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब भार तुम्हारे हाथों में। अब सौंप दिया इस जीवन का सब भार तुम्हारे हाथों में। सब भार तुम्हारे हाथों में, सब भार तुम्हारे हाथों में।
मनमोहन कृष्ण मुरारी, तेरे चरणों की बलिहारी। मनमोहन कृष्ण मुरारी, तेरे चरणों की बलिहारी। बारी बारी जाऊं मैं बनवारी, मनमोहन कृष्ण मुरारी, तेरे चरणों की बलिहारी। भक्त भाव के फूल चढ़ाकर, भक्त भाव के फूल चढ़ाकर आरती उतारो। तेरे प्यार की जोगन मेरा, तेरे प्यार की जोगन मेरा। मैं तेरे और निहारो, मैं तेरे और निहारो। मोहि लागे लगन तिहारी में, मेरे लागे लगन तिहारी में। मनमोहन कृष्ण मुरारी, तेरे चरणों की बलिहारी। मनमोहन कृष्ण मुरारी, तेरे चरणों की बलिहारी। बारी बारी जाओ मैं बनवारी, मनमोहन कृष्ण मुरारी, तेरे चरणों की बलिहारी। पलक बूंद कर देखो तुमको, पलक बूंद कर देखो तुमको। मधुर मधुर मुस्काते, कालिंद देते सत
Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jaya Jai Jai Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jaya Jai Jai Krishna Hare Jaba Chara Tara Pandiyara Ho Ashaka Dur Kinara Ho Jaba Chara Tara Pandiyara Ho Ashaka Dur Kinara Ho O koi na kevana hara ho tera to hi bira pyar kare Jaya Jai Jai Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jaya Jai Jai Krishna Hare Tu chahe tu sabako chakara de Vishako bi amarata kara de Tu chahe tu sabako chakara de Vishako hi amarita kara de Purana kara de onkiya Jobi tera dandare Jobi tera dandare Jaya Jai Jai Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jaya Jai Jai Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jaya Jai Jai Krishna Hare
Om Prem se bolo Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai Prem se bolo Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan ki jai Prem se bolo Sita Mata ki jai Prem se bolo Hanuman Swami ki jai Prem se bolo Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. At this time, devotees, we join together as we offer prayers to that universal Father, that universal Guru. We offer prayers to that destroyer of all evils in our life and in this universe. We join together, devotees, as we offer prayers to Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Karpurang Aurang Karunavataram Sansara Saram Bhujagendraram
सदा सन्तं हृदयार्दविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ब्रह्ममुरारी सुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभासित शोभितलिङ्गं जनमजदुःख विनाशकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं ब्रह्ममुरारी सुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभासित शोभितलिङ्गं जनमजदुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं देवमुनिप्रवर्चितलिङ्गं कामदहं करुणाकरलिङ्गं रावणदर्पविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
सर्वसुगन्धिसुलेपितलिङ्गं बुद्धिविवर्धनकारिणलिङ्गं सिंहसुरवन्दितलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
गणकमहामणिभूषितलिङ्गं पनिपतिवेष्टितशोभितलिङ्गं दक्षसुयज्ञविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
कुङ्कुमचन्दनलेपितलिङ्गं पङ्कजहारसुशोभितलिङ्गं सञ्चितपापविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
देवाङ्गनार्चितसेवितलिङ्गं हायवैरभक्तिभिरेवचलिङ्गं दिनकरकोटिप्रभाकरलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम्
अष्टधनुपरिवेष्टितलिङ्गं सर्वसमूढमाकारणलिङ्गम् अष्टधनीन्द्रविनाशितलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं
तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम्
सुरगुरुसुरवरपूजितलिङ्गं सुरवनपुष्पसदार्चितलिङ्गं परात्परं परमात्मकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं लिङ्गष्टकं मिरं पुण्यं यः पतेत् शिवसन्निधौ शिवलोकमवाप्नुरधिर् शिवेन सह मोदते ॐ नमः शिवाय.
Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Shiva Hari Om 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 Shivaya. Om Shiva
Hari Om Shiva. Om Shiva Hari Om Shiva.
Om Shiva Hari Om Shivaya. Om Shiva Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shiva Hari Om Shiva.
Om Shiva Hari Om Shiva. Hari Om Shiva. Hari Om Shiva. Om Shiva Hari Om Shiva. Hari Om Shiva. Hari Om Shiva. Om Shiva 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 Hari Om Shiva. Om Namah 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 Shivaya. 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 Om Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar. Shiva Shankar Shambho. Jai Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar. Shiva Shankar Shambho. Jai Shiva Shankar Namami Shankar. Shiva Shankar Shambho.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Devotees, we offer this next prayer for all those suffering from various illnesses, diseases, injuries, and ailments. We ask that they may have a fast, a speedy, and full recovery. We also offer a prayer for those transitioning from this world to the next. May the passage be a smooth and tranquil one. Om Trayambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityurmuksyo Mamrutat. Om Trayambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityurmuksyo Mamrutat. Om Trayambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityurmuksyo Mamrutat. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Kartikeya Namaha. Om Nandishwaraya Namaha. Om Vasukiye Namaha. Om Shri Sambasana Shivaya Namaha. Prem se bolo Shiva Shankara Bhagwan ki jai. Devotees, for all of us who have a guru, we join together as we offer a prayer for a guru. If not, we take Lord Shiva or any devata in our mind that we choose as a universal guru as we join together and pray. Om Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Deo Maheshwara Gurura Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Om Dhyana Moolam Gurur Murti Puja Moolam Gurur Param Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam Moksha Moolam Gurur Kripar. Prem se Guru Guru Deo ki jai. Devotees, for any of you who have prasad charawe, I ask that you please come forth at this time. We hold our prasad in both hands as we offer these prayers. Om Naivedyam Grihitam Neva Bhakti Me Chalam Kuru Ipsitam Me Varam Dehi Paratraya Parangatim. Om Nirampalam Maya Deva Stapitam Puratastavaham Tene Me Sapalavapir Bhavit Janmani Janmani. Om Sarva Papa Haram Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanam Maya Riktam Grihetam Purushottamam.
आवो
No, down there.
भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन, आवो भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन। दुर्योधन की मेवा त्यागे, दुर्योधन की मेवा त्यागे, साग विदुर घर खायो प्यारे मोहन, आवो भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन, आवो भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन। जो कोई ऐसा भोग को खावे, जो कोई ऐसा भोग को खावे, सब अमृत हो जाए प्यारे मोहन, आवो भोग लगाओ 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 प्यारे मोहन।
At this time, devotees, for all those who are desirous and joining us and participating in our Hawan ceremony, please let you come forth at this time. We light the Hawan Kund. Om Nime Purohitam Yajnasya Devam Retvajam Ottaram Rajnadhatamam Agni Devaya Namaham Om Prajapate Swaha Idam Prajapate Idam Namamah Om Indraya Swaha Idam Indraya Idam Namamah Om Aganai Swaha Idam Aganai Idam Namamah Om Somaya Swaha Idam Somaya Idam Namamah Om Bhu Swaha Idam Aganai Idam Namamah Om Bhuva Swaha Idam Vayo Idam Namamah Om Swaha Swaha Idam Suryaya Idam Namamah Om Suryaya Namah Swaha Idam Suryaya Idam Namamah Om Chandraya Namah Swaha Idam Chandraya Idam Namamah Om Bhaumaya Namah Swaha Idam Bhaumaya Idam Namamah Om Buddhaya Namah Swaha Idam Buddhaya Idam Namamah Om Brihaspati Namah Swaha Idam Brihaspati Idam Namamah Om Shukraya Namah Swaha Idam Shukraya Idam Namamah Om Shanishcharaya Namah Swaha Idam Shanishcharaya Idam Namamah Om Rahave Namah Swaha Idam Rahave Idam Namamah Om Ketave Namah Swaha Idam Ketave Idam Namamah Om Ganeshaya Namah Swaha Om Mahagauriye Namah Swaha Om Mahasaraswati Namah Swaha Om Mahalakshmiye Namah Swaha Om Mahadurgaye Namah Swaha Om Guruve Namah Swaha Om Brahmane Namah Swaha Om Vishnuve Namah Swaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha Om Ramaya Namah Swaha Om Sitaya Namah Swaha Om Hanumate Namah Swaha Om Krishnaya Namah Swaha Om Shivaya Namah Swaha Om Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namah Swaha Om Sarvebhyo Pitribhyo Namah Swadha Om Bhuri Bhuva Swam Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Nevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा. Take everything together in your hands and please stand as we commence with Puranahuti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Murhanam Divaratim Pratimibhya Veswanaramrita Ajatam Aganim Kavhingvam Samrajantitim Jananam Asana Patram Chanyanti Deva Swaha Om Sarvam Goy Puranagam Swaha Om Sarvam Goy Puranagam Swaha Om Sarvam Goy Puranagam Swaha. We take our blessings from Agnira Devatai. Om Tanapagani Asitanwa Me Pahi Om Maryoragani Saryur Me Nehi Om Varachogani Si Varachu Me Nehi Om Agnayan Me Tanwa Udanam Tanma Puruna Om Tejosi Tejamai Nehi Om Viryamasi Viryamai Nehi Om Balamasim Balamai Nehi Om Ojosi Ojamai Nehi Om Manyurasi Manyumai Nehi Om Sahosi Sahumai Nehi Om Shanti Rastu Pushti Rastu Vrithi Rastu Yatapapram Tatitmastu Dvipare Chatushpare Surashanti Rabhavatu Achmanyam Om Sarva Papaharam Divyam Gangiyam Niramalam Chalam Achmanmayaratam Grihetam Purushotamam Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Prem Spuragni Devata Ki Jai. Okay. Before we commence with our sermon, devotees, I'll suggest you join together with me as we offer praise to Lord Ganesh to remove any obstacles in our way. Some of the Saraswati to clear our minds, to provide us with wisdom, and to our gurus who set the way before us for us to be able to learn and hear from these beautiful scriptures that we're about to hear from today. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabham Nirviganam Kurme Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarabham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Om Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Reo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaham Om Prem se Bolo Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai Prem se Bolo Saraswati Mata ki Jai Prem se Bolo Guru Dev ki Jai. As we mentioned, devotees, chapter or book 1 of the Srimad Bhagavad Puran is pretty much what happens after the great Mahabharata war. The falling out of a kingdom and the rise of a new kingdom, but also the start of a new age. So in chapter 15, we learned about the Pandavas. And the Pandavas were retiring. After hearing Lord Krishna has left this world and we're in a new dark age, they knew that their time has been fulfilled and their rule over the kingdom has been completed. So they decide to retire, and that was the end of chapter 15. And then we move on to chapter 16, in which a new person turns to the throne, and a new kingdom is being formed. We hear in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, Bhagavatam Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam Puran, Bhagavatam Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam Puran, Bhagavatam Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam Puran.
Bhagavatam Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam Puran.
Bhagavatam Shri Bhagavatam Srimad Bhagavatam Puran.
Bhagavatam Srimad Bhagavatam Srimad Bhagavatam Puran.
Bhagavatam Puran Srimad Bhagavatam Puran. Before I actually commence into the sermon, devotees, curious, how many of you did your homework this week? Who remembers what the homework was? 5 minutes a day breathing. Mom looked at me, she's like, I didn't do it. 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day just to breathe. Anybody here do it? No? But you did it. What? Okay. So now we're recognizing how, even though how many minutes are there in a day? There's 24 hours. So 1,440. 5 minutes of that is less than 1%, I think. So we see how something so simple, something that can help benefit our overall life, something that doesn't take too long, is something that we tend to forget about. So when we lose control over our faculties, facilities, our senses, when we lose control, we also have to remember that if we just take less than 1% of our day, less than 1%, that's such a small percentage, such a small fraction, just to breathe, our day becomes better. We're able to think better about what we can do. The reason I gave you the homework of 5 minutes and not 1 minute is because I wanted you to understand how difficult 5 minutes is, just to take 5 minutes to remember to do something. So your homework for this week is to take 5 minutes of every day and breathe. And if you can't remember now, put a notification, put an alarm reminder on your phone that you have to sit down and breathe. I don't care how you have to remember how to do it. I want you to do it. And then if you want to be an overachiever, I want you to take your blood pressure before you breathe. And then I want you to take your blood pressure after you breathe. And I want you to tell me what those results are. I'm going to do that this week. That'll be my goal. Hopefully my blood pressure will go down. We'll see what happens. I have normal blood pressure, by the way. I'm 120/80. I just want to throw that out there. But after we ended chapter 15, we moved into chapter 16. Yudhishthir is no longer the king. He's no longer in charge of the kingdom. He retired. So now the kingdom ruled and moved over to his nephew. I think it's his great nephew, actually. So now we start hearing about the story of Raja Parikshit. We heard about how he was saved by Bhagwan and how he was destined for greatness. But now we get to see what his greatness is like. Now we see this in politics all the time. One president comes in, maybe they mess up economic stability, and then another president has to take over, and we say, oh man, look at what that president had to deal with. So we're looking at a king who's coming in, having to rule over the sinful age, the age of Kali Yuga, where Brahmins and kings and queens and royalty and people who we once respected are now turning against one another, committing heinous acts, committing sins, making this world a darker place. How are you as a king supposed to rule over darkness? And so we hear the very first part where Sutta Goswami says, O scholars, Parikshit, the great devotee, thereafter being instructed by the best Brahmins, ruled over the earth with all the qualities that the astrologers who predicted the future at the time of his birth thought he would have. He married the daughter of King Uttara and begot 4 sons of whom led after him all the Genjis he performed. His sacrifices where the demigods showed themselves. Whom he selected as his spiritual master was therefore rewarded appropriately. Once on a military campaign, he valiantly hero, by dint of his prowess, managed to overpower the masters of Kali, who disguised themselves as kings, but who lower than Sudras was hurting the legs of a cow and a bull. Saunaka inquired, why did he during his campaign subdue the master of Kali, who dressed up as a king, like a low Sudra who was striking the legs of a cow? Please, O fortunate one, describe that to us, if that would relate to the topics of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. What is the use of other subjects that, being illusionary, do not relate to his lotus feet, the nectar of which is licked by the truth-loving souls? What would be a waste of one's life? O Sutra, those among the mortal human beings who are not sure to meet death, but here to desire righteousness, call for the great Lord of Death, Yamaraj, to perform the preparatory rites. The great sages invite him because he's no will die as he is, and the great Lord who causes the end of life is present here. May everyone in the world drink from the nectar of the narrations about the divine pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Those, after all, who are lazy, have a dull mind, and are short-lived, pass their days and nights with aimless activities and sleeping. So tell us more about this story. I want to know how it pertains to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, because our thought process is every being that lives in this world exists to perform their duty, and then they seek Yamaraj and they try to achieve the next life. What is the purpose of us hearing this story, knowing the story? Why are you telling this to us, O Sutta Goswami? That's what a sage does. They tell you a story with the hopes that you learn from it. That's what a guru does too. They teach you something with the hopes that you learn from it, the hopes that you take away something from it, because not everything that we tell you is irrelevant. So Sutta Goswami says, when Parikshit, residing in the Kuru capital, learned that the signs of Kali Yuga had entered the domain of his jurisdiction, he considered the news not very palatable, and took up his bow and arrows to meet the conflict with military means. It sounds kind of harsh. He uses his military forces to overcome darkness. He's a king. He has to do what he needs to do. He's doing his duty. Is him drawing his army together to defeat the forces of evil a bad thing? Because you hear the words, he's using violence to correct darkness. However, if you think about the Mahabharata war, we talk about that as being a good time. Yet it's one of the greatest wars in dharmic scripture. So he's doing his duty. He's performing his duty, well decorated under the protection of the lion and his flag, with black horses pulling his chariot. He left the capital accompanied by charioteers, cavalry, elephants, and infantry troops. He conquered many lands and maintained his authority by exacting tribute. He made sure to perform his sacrifices wherever he went. At whatever lands he claimed devotees, he performed sacrifices to ensure that the people of those lands lived happily, healthily. Now, I don't mean he went around and killed all the bad people. What I mean was he sacrificed some of his wealth, some of his material possessions, some of the things that he owned to make sure that those lands prospered. Everywhere he went, he continuously heard what great souls his forefathers were, and found also indications of the glorious acts of Lord Krishna among the people he met. He heard about his own deliverance from the powerful rays of the weapon of the Astvatama, and about the love of the devotion for Lord Kesava of Bhagwan Shri Krishna among the descendants of Vrishni and Bharata. Extremely pleased therewithin, he gratefully, with eyes open of joy, rewarded the people magnanimously with clothes, necklaces, and other riches. Not only did he liberate them, he provided them with the means that they need to survive. He, Krishna, who was a manifestation of Lord Vishnu and himself, was obeyed by everyone by serving as a chariot driver, presiding in assemblies, and acting as a servant by being a friend and a messenger and keeping watch at night, acted with prayers and obediences to the liking of the God-fearing sons of Pandu. This filled the king with devotion for his lotus feet. How do you know a leader is a great leader? How did Parikshit know that Bhagwan Shri Krishna was a great person, a great God? He said it here. Even though he was a god, he didn't act pompous. He didn't act self-absorbed. He didn't act egocentric. He provided for his kingdom. He provided for his people. God acted like a servant. And we talk about this, and I can't stress this enough. What makes a leader a good leader? It's a person who has the ability to serve their community as well. It's a person who has the will to sacrifice what they need to ensure that people are surviving and thriving as they need to. It's the person who's at the front of the block, pulling the block, rather than yelling at other people to push from the back.
Thus, day after day, absorbed in thoughts about the good qualities of his forefathers, not far away from where he was, a most peculiar incident took place. Sutta Goswami says, let me tell you about it, O great sages. There's two personalities that we have. Dharma, we think Dharma means righteousness. But this Dharma was a personality of religion. It was in the form of a bull who wandered around on one leg, met a cow. They don't say the name of the cow. They just put in quotations, Mother Earth. That's what they put in the Srimad Bhagavatam. With tears in her eyes, like she was a mother who had lost her child. He questioned her. Dharma questioned her. Dharma said, Madam. Understandably, these are very religious animals, so they can talk. Okay? They can talk to one another. So the bull says to the cow, Dharma says to the cow, Mother Earth, Madam, are you in good health? Looking so sad with a gloomy face, O mother, you seem to be afflicted by a disease or to be preoccupied with some relative far away. Sometimes you know when a complete stranger is in distress. We all have signs and symptoms, furrowed brows, slightly pale in the face. Maybe you're drooped a little bit, so he can see that this cow is in distress. Do you lament my three weakened legs with me standing on one leg only, or is it because you are exploited by meat eaters? Is it because the leading demigods are deprived of their sacrificial share, or because the living beings increasingly suffer from scarcity, famine, and drought? Remember, he's speaking to Mother Earth at this point. Are you grieving about the unhappy women and children on earth who have to miss the protection of their husbands and fathers, or are you sorry about the way one in families of the learned souls acting against the goddess of learning? Do you lament the fact that most of them act non-Brahmanical and serving of the ruling class? Is it because the descendants of the noble class under the influence of Kali Yuga appear to have lost their minds and left and right have messed up the affairs of the state? Or is it because the habits of developed in society to take one's food and one's drink and how one dresses, bathes, and has the proper way to live their lives has gone astray, has gone awry? Or could it be, O mother, because of your heavy burden now, Hari, the Lord who diminished your burden has disappeared from sight, with you thinking of everything he did and the salvation he entails? Please inform me, O reservoir of all riches, about the reason of your sadness that reduced you to such a weak state. Or has, O mother, powerful time even subdued the most powerful soul, stolen away your good fortune, extolled by the demigods? Dharma says to Mother Earth, who's in the form of a cow, what's wrong? Is all the bad overcoming you? Keep in mind, we're on Mother Earth. What is one of the first prayers we say here every day or every Sunday before we sit down for puja? We say prayers for Prithvi Mata. We say prayers for Mother Earth. It's obviously the place we reside on, isn't it? Don't we have to treat it with respect in order to keep residing on it? But what we're seeing now in the age of Kali Yuga is people are starting to take advantage of Mother Earth, to do things wrong. And so she's feeling all of that sin, essentially, on her earth. So Mother Earth replies, Oh Dharma, I will do my best to answer all the questions you ask me, for you are with your four legs present in all worlds to bring happiness. We've heard these words before. We heard them in the last chapter, chapter 18 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Mother Earth says specifically to Dharma, truthfulness, cleanliness. For those of you who are wondering, chapter 16, book 1, verses 26 through 30. She replies, truthfulness, cleanliness, compassion, self-control, contentment, straightforwardness, concentration, sense control, responsibility, equality, tolerance, equanimity, and loyalty. And certainly also knowledge, detachment, leadership, chivalry, influence, power, dutifulness, independence, dexterity, beauty, serenity, and kind-heartedness, as also ingenuity, gentility, mannerlessness, determination, knowledgeability, propriety, pleasantness, joyfulness, immovability, faithfulness, fame, and dignity. All these and many others are most important everlasting qualities of the Supreme Lord. He, the never-ending, diminishing, high nature, desire by those wishing for his greatness. I am, thanks to him, the reservoir of all qualities and the homes of the goddess and fortune, myself such an abode. But I lament now that his absence, Kali, and the source of all sins, is seen all over the world. It's very important, those verses, because it tells you how to be like the Lord. A lot of things that we all still try to hone in and grab onto. She says further, I'm lamenting both for me and for you, for the best of the enlightened souls, the gods and the ancestors in heaven, the sages and the devotees, as also for all people and their status, orientations, in society. Mahalakshmi Mata, the goddess of fortune, whose grace was sought by Brahma, and others who for many days executed penances for her and surrender to the Lord, has without hesitation forsaken her abode in the forest of lotus flowers out of attachment to serve his all auspicious feet. With my body decorated with the impressions of the footprints, with the lotus flower, thunderbolt flag, and driving rod of the Supreme Lord, the proprietor of all opulence, I superseded beautifully the three worlds. But after my places had obtained his splendor, he in the end has abandoned me, who was so happy with it. He who relieved me of burden of hundreds of military divisions of atheist kings incarnated for you in an attractive form in the Yadu family, because you, lacking in inner strength, had difficulty to keep standing. Who, I ask you, can tolerate to be separated from the supreme original person, who with his loving glances, smiles, and hearty appeals defeated the strongest attachment of his sweet and proud woman and made my hair stand on end out of pleasure for being imprinted by his feet? While the earth and the bull were conversing, Parikshit, who was renowned for being among the saint among kings, arrived at the Saraswati River that was flowing to the east. So now we have converging means. We started this chapter talking about a bull and a cow. You heard about Parikshit having to overcome this master of Kali who is beating a cow and a bull. We hear about Raja Parikshit. We hear about his travels. We hear about the lamentations of that cow who is now Mother Earth. And now we hear about Raja Parikshit coming closer and closer and closer to these two. So we're hearing the beginnings of a story about what Mother Earth is and how we're supposed to strive on Mother Earth and with that devotees. And it's a very weird way to do it in the way that Bhagavad Puran is structured. But that brings to an end chapter 16. So we hear about Mother Earth, what her lamentations are, and what she wants us to feel, what she knows about Bhagwan and how she wants us to live. But now we hear something bad is about to happen. So as we get further into Bhagavad Puran, the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, we hear about the emerging of Raja Parikshit to these two's conversation. And with that, devotees, we end here for today. Prem se Bolo Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. It's hard to leave you on a cliffhanger on the end of a chapter because the end of a chapter is already a cliffhanger. So we'll get back to it next week. With that, devotees being said, I hope that we could all please stand for our final arti.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakta Jano ke Sankata Bhakta Jano ke Sankata Janame Dura Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Jodhave Palapave Dukha Binase Manaka Swami Dukha Binase Manaka Sukha Sampati Gare Ave Sukha Sampati Gare Ave Kashta Mite Tanaka Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Tuma Mere Sharanaga Ho Kisaki Swami Sharanaga Ho Kisaki Toma Bina Aurana Dusha Toma Bina Aurana Dusha Asakaro Jesaki Om Jai Jagadish Hare
At this time, devotees, as we join together, as we go ahead and clasp our hands and close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax your spine, drop your shoulders, relax your neck, your forehead, relax your entire body. With your eyes closed and your body relaxed, take some time to focus on a form of Bhagwan that's most pleasing to you, one that helps you concentrate, one that helps you focus, and join together with me as we chant these closing prayers. Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu Sarvesham Shanti Bhavatu Sarvesham Bhururam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Badrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktahinam Janardanam Yetya Pujatam Maya Deva Paripurnam Dharastu Me Papuham Papu Karmaham Papu Atma Papu Sambhava Trahimam Pundari Kaksham Sarva Papu Haru Hari Om Tvameva Matas Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Asatoma Sagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityuma Mritam Gamaya Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Devotees, may we all please bow. Om Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Deo Maheshwara Gurura Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurue Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurue Namaha Om Dhyao Shantir Anthariksham Vam Shantir Prithvi Shantir Apa Shantir Aushadeya Shantir Vanaspati Shantir Vishwadeva Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvengvam Shanti Shanti Deva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat. Prem se bolo Ganesh Bhagwan ki, Prem se bolo Adi Shakti Durga Mata ki, Prem se bolo Vishnu Bhagwan ki, Prem se bolo Shiva Shankar Bhagwan ki, Prem se bolo Shiva Shakti Mandir ki, Prem se bolo Sanatana Dharma ki. Good job, everyone. And with that, devotees, we have come to the end of our Sunday morning satsang, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Give me 1 second. I gotta find the announcements. Our president is not present today, but he did send me some announcements. If I could find where those are. Well, while I look for those, just a few announcements from the calendar for this week, devotees. We just celebrated our Krishna Janmashtami Puja this past Thursday on the 18th. We had our virtual service that started at 7. So thank you for all of you who tuned in and were participating with us. Tuesday, August 30th marks Shri Ganesh Chaturthi. Again, that is going to be Tuesday, August 30th. Next week, I'll have some more announcements for you in that in regards to what we're doing as a service and as a mandir. And then in September, there's only one thing that we have that is... Well, there's really two things. But the one thing that I'll go ahead and denote that's starting in September is Pitra Paksh. Pitra Paksh starts on Saturday, September 10th, and ends on Sunday, September 25th. Again, that is September 10th through September 25th. And then immediately at the end of Pitra Paksh starts the period known as
And Auntie Drew got it. Navratri. And that is from September 26th through October 4th. So when it comes to those pujas, what we're doing for Navratri, I'll let you all know as we get closer to that date, because October will mark the period of Diwali as well. But just know that in September, from the 10th through the 25th, is a period known as Pitra Paksh. And those are the only updates and announcements I have from the Mandir calendar. Give me 1 second. I've now got to scroll through and find. There it is. The calendar and information my dad sent me from last week. So, since last week, there's a few folks who have celebrated birthdays. Some aren't here. Actually, only one person celebrated it. Well, no, two. There's another person celebrating their birthday today on the 21st. So yesterday, Auntie Jenny celebrated her birthday on the, well, her birthday was on the 20th. She celebrated her birthday yesterday. Her family's in town, so she's celebrating with her family. So to Auntie Jenny, very, very happy birthday to you. And to Uncle Jai, whose birthday is today, very happy birthday to you as well. We have a few more that are coming up throughout the week. Let me see what else we have here. I don't think we have any anniversaries at all to share. And it's really just those birthdays that I have. Is there anybody else who celebrated any special event, anniversary, birthday, award? I don't know. Anything? No one? All right, devotees. Well, that being said, we have no other announcements to share with you all. It's supposed to be a very rainy week this week. I thought today was going to be raining all day. We kind of got a little lucky with the little bit of rain that we've gotten so far, but it's supposed to be a pretty wet and very rainy week. So I ask that you all stay safe out there, especially when you're driving, because I don't know what happens with people's brains when it starts driving and they start driving themselves and when it starts raining and driving. So just be careful, be cautious on the road. I hope you all have a safe, happy, healthy week. And until next Sunday, we'll see you then. Actually, next Sunday for next service. So Jai Sita Ram, everybody. Of course.